Some people don't even really realize that coral is a living thing.
Hawaii's coral reefs are important to the environment, Hawaiian culture, and the economy. Many animals call these reefs home, use it as protection, and some even as a food source. According to the Hawaiian creation chant, the Kumulipo, the coral polyp was the first living thing in Hawaii, and from it, all other life forms were born. It deserves the utmost respect from us who came after.
I think why it hits so hard is a lot of it can be prevented or at least addressed, which is why this project and the restoration in the state of Hawaii specifically is really exciting. In 2015, I remember going snorkeling after work one day and just seeing a bunch of white bleached coral. And it was pretty crazy. Makes me want to cry.
Yeah.
Nicole Tajubana is a natural resource specialist along the coast of Kona. She works specifically with anchoring ponds near the sea. In 2015, there was a major coral bleaching event in Hawaii, with around 60% of the corals being affected by it. Natural resource managers, like Nikki, felt helpless and worried. This event caused damage to the reef and what surrounds it. But out of something so heartbreaking came something good. Something that will eventually change Hawaii's reefs forever and possibly many more in the future.
For the last few years, we have been working on some pilot restoration projects along the West Hawaii coast. So with the Nature Conservancy, we've been working in Ka'upalehu and Kealakekua Bay as kind of the initial starting locations. And coral restoration is a practice that's pretty global, but specifically for West Hawaii, it's a pretty novel practice. It hasn't really been done before in the scale that we're doing it. So we are essentially testing out different methods with different species to see moving forward what's going to work the best.
This restoration project will eventually start to replenish the 2 reefs that already have sites on the island and possibly many more in the future. Michaela and her team are mainly focusing on the lobe coral and the cauliflower coral. They were chosen because they are very prevalent to the reef and were big building species.
That's something that we're also hoping to monitor over time is as we do this restoration, how is it affecting the rest of the ecosystem and other species that should be important there.
It's not just about the reefs, but what thrives there. There are over 7,000 known species who live and thrive in Hawaii's reefs, and without it, they wouldn't be able to survive.
When you see something that looks different, you can kind of be more aware and see if that's becoming a problem, and more attuned to the issues going on is a good start to being aware of the problem.
Being aware of the problem is what you can do. You don't need to be an expert to be part of the solution. Some of the things you can do include picking up trash, wearing sunscreen that is reef safe, and especially not touching anything in the reefs. All of the organisms matter, and that's what's important. To remember what was here before us, and try to keep it alive as long as possible for future generations. We have to remember that we are guests in their home, in their underwater realm, and that we should treat it with the most amount of respect. E ola oi, e ola ma kone. You live, so we live.